bus makes its way into afternoon traffic, and BC Transit says it's going to be at least another 3 years until we see any groundbreaking for a light rail transit system in Greater Victoria. That was one of the surprises that Victoria and Saanich Council members heard at a joint meeting with BC Transit last night. The other surprise is that BC Transit has bought a $5 million piece of land near the Uptown complex. CTV's Louise Hartland has the story.
Businesses on this small piece of land adjacent to Uptown have a new landlord, BC Transit.
The 4 properties were purchased for $5 million. They are outright owned by BC Transit, and we do have income coming in as landlords for the lessees that remain in those buildings until they'll be used for transit purposes.
It's sad that I'm going to have to eventually lose this spot, because it's just, we're a location-dependent business, and this spot is, you couldn't find a better location than this.
BC Transit says it paid for the land with capital dollars from the province, acquired for a future transit hub or light rail station.
None of the municipalities are being charged for that land until we use it for BC Transit purposes.
And that could be a while, especially if it is used for LRT.
Clearly, the next 2 to 3 years is going to be spent on paperwork. Paperwork on how it's paid for, and paperwork on presenting a business plan to federal and provincial governments. So that's of no benefit to the riders and the problems we have today.
Saanich Mayor Frank Leonard says the time frame to implement LRT came as a surprise to a joint council meeting last night between Victoria and Saanich councils. He says the one benefit, though, moving ahead with interim transit solutions.
So let's get on with it. And I even believe it means let's get on with it on Mackenzie. Let's get on with it on Hillside. No, let's not just get on with interim measures on Douglas.
Possible solutions: more queue jumper lanes such as this one at Tillicum and the TCH, allowing buses to jump ahead of waiting cars. But getting the buses to those lanes is an issue right now. So another option to use in conjunction, bus-only lanes, similar to this one in Calgary, reserved for transit and cyclists.
The shoulder lanes on either side of Douglas, earmarked only for transit, only on peak commute hours.
BC Transit says testing will begin on coordinated signals on Douglas later this month, with the hope of having them up and running in April, allowing bus drivers to trigger lights with the touch of a button. Still, all solutions come at a price.
Well, there's a lot less zeros in LRT. So there is a cost, but these things are achievable. If they're purely transit related, it can be accomplished within the transit budget. Some of it can be accomplished within the budgets of the municipalities.
And the faster they happen, the sooner transit users in Greater Victoria will get the green light on a smoother, more efficient commute.
And CTV's Louise Hartland joins us now live at one of the transit choke points. That's where Douglas Street and Saanich Road converge on the Trans-Canada. Louise, a surprise for local government about that purchase last night, and they, led by Frank Leonard, have voiced concerns about the power BC Transit has to make these decisions and spend money.
That's right, Hudson. The council say they should be part of the conversation when BC Transit makes these large purchases, especially when they're in their municipalities and costing millions of dollars. Now, they're hoping this will be one of the solutions found when the province does an independent review of BC Transit. Minister Blair Leckstrom says that will be conducted any time now.
All right, we'll watch for it. Louise Hartland, thank you.
You're welcome.